There are several evils of the interest-based economy. The reason why Quran has prohibited it. For example, if a person takes loan from the bank and say the cost price of a particular article is 100 rupees. He wants 10 rupees profit on that article. So his selling price will include the 100 rupees cost price, the 10 rupees profit, as well as the interest he's paying. Say it is rupees 10. So the selling price will be 120 rupees. The selling price will go up because of interest. If the selling price goes up, but natural, the demand comes down. When the demand comes down, the supply goes down. When supply goes down, but natural, the production comes down. When the production comes down, there is retrenchment and there is labor problem. There's problem of employment. There are a lot of social injustice. For example, if a person takes loan from the bank, irrespective whether he makes a profit or goes in loss, he has to pay that fixed amount of interest in the time stipulated. Even if some calamity befalls his family, like floods, earthquake, etc., still the person who has taken loan has to pay that amount along with interest. There is no social, there is social injustice. Irrespective whether the businessman goes in loss or profit, he has to pay that amount. There is no social consideration also. For example, if two businessmen, they come to ask for a loan from a bank, from the modern bank. One businessman wants to open an alcohol factory, and the other businessman wants to start a school. But natural, the person starting an alcohol factory will have better returns, and the loan given to him will be more secured, and he will give a higher rate of interest as compared to the other businessman who wants to start a school or an hospital. There is no social consideration. The modern bank is only interested in getting bigger returns. It's not bothered whether you open an alcohol factory or a gambling den or a school or a hospital. That's the reason that if you analyze in the 80s, most of the modern banks, they financed gambling dens. That's the reason you will find that hundreds and thousands of gambling dens had been opened in the 80s throughout the world. All the banks financed gambling dens, gambling dens, gambling dens. Though theoretically, the modern banker will tell you that even we have social consideration, and for name's sake, he may give a loan to a few social projects. But majority of his loans, if you analyze, are not based on social consideration. It's based on better interest. According to the modern banking, it encourages a person to store money. It encourages a person to keep the money idle. That you keep so much money in the bank and you get a fixed return of 10% or 12% every year. It encourages a person to store money. And lastly, the power is concentrated in the hands of few people. That is the bankers. That's the reason that a small percentage of people, that is a small community, that is the Jews, which are controlling the major modern banks of the world. Today they are controlling the full world. The power today is mainly in the hands of the Jews, because though they are negligible in percentage, they are controlling most of the modern banks. So because of the modern banking system, power is concentrated in the hands of few individuals. Same way, there are several benefits of the Islamic banking. Firstly, no interest is involved. It's based on profit and loss. So if a person wants to sell his good, it will only have the cost price and the profit. Instead of 120 rupees, his selling price will be 110 rupees. If the selling price comes down, the demand increases. If the demand increases, but natural supply increases. Supply increases, the production increases. And but natural, there is more labor for the people. And it encourages the people to work and to strive. It encourages a people to earn the living. It has social justice. That if a businessman takes a loan, if he goes in loss, the loss is shared by the bank. If he goes in profit, the profit is shared by the bank. And if he takes a loan, and if certain calamity befalls him, but natural, the Islamic bank gives him more time to repay, not like the modern bank. The more later you pay, you have to pay a bigger penalty. In the Islamic bank, they give more time. And many a time, if they find the situation very bad, they also let go of that loan. There is social consideration. You cannot give loan to any businessman who is doing any activity against the Islamic Sharia. Any activity which is causing harm to the society. For example, if a businessman wants to open an alcohol factory, and if he approaches an Islamic bank, irrespective, even if the businessman says, I will give you 100% of my profit, still the Islamic bank will not give a single pie loan to that businessman because he wants to start a project which is harmful to the society, which is against the Sharia. So in the Islamic banking, there is social consideration. And they encourages more. The Islamic bank, they encourages more of the projects which are beneficial to the society. For example, building of schools, building of hospitals, building of nurseries, etc. In short, the Islamic bank encourages the society to improve. In Islamic bank, you aren't encouraged to keep your money idle. You're encouraged to invest your money and be a partner in the business. And lastly, the power is not concentrated in the hands of a few individuals. Because here, the profit and loss is shared by the businessman, by the banker, as well as the depositor. The power is shared equally between all the people. It's not concentrated in the hands of the few people. The great philosopher Aristotle, he has given a beautiful definition of interest. And Aristotle defines interest as an earning based on the use of money and not on labor. And all such earnings are against nature. According to Aristotle, interest is an earning based on the use of money, not on labor. And all such earnings, that is, all such interest, are against nature. Let's analyze the modern theory and the Islamic theory. There are mainly four factors that are involved in production. The first is land, second is labor, third is capital, and fourth is organization. According to the modern theory, on land you pay rent. In the Islamic theory you do the same. On land you pay rent. In the second factor of production, that is labor, in the modern theory you pay wages. In the Islamic theory also you pay wages. It's the same. In the third factor of production, that is capital, in the modern theory you pay interest. In the Islamic theory there is profit and loss sharing. And in the fourth factor of production, that is organization, in the modern theory there is profit and loss sharing. In the Islamic theory there is profit and loss sharing. So the major difference in the four factors of production is the third factor, that is capital.